Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. Giving all praise and glory to the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said that's his name forever, memorial to all generations. So we as generation that's going to give praise and glory to the most high and honor for his magnificence and allowing us to see another day closer to the kingdom and one day to repent and to praise his holy name. Shama Mashiach Yahushua. And I'm going to continue on the lesson I've been dealing with and dealing with the God of this world has blinded the world or the minds of the world. So people that believe not, you know, it's a lot of people that have different beliefs. They believe different things. That's not necessarily the same thing that they believe, we as a people, even in the truth, we know in part and prophesy in part. No one has the complete truth but the truth. Who said he was the truth? From Mashiach Yahushua, he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. I'm the way to show you how to follow the laws of the Most High, which is the truth. That's Psalms 119, 142. We can sing it together, class. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Those laws are the Most High's laws that he wrote with his finger. So Mashiach came on the earth and tell us that to be an example, he was an example to show us how we can follow the laws and the commandments of the Most High, because he said, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth, which is the laws, the commandments of the Most High that's going to lead to everlasting life. Said, no man come to the Father but by me. But a lot of people look at that, and you got to get out of the mindset of a New Testament and Old Testament. When Mashiach walked the earth, that's all he went by and taught was from the law and the prophets. But if you don't really look at it as such, then you're going to be caught up in religious type of mindset. Like the people that go to these churches or these assemblies or congregations, wherever they meet, in the mindset that they have that the God of this world has blinded the minds of the people, period, in religions and different philosophies and how they think, speak and act without a shadow of a doubt. And if you pay attention to what has happened to us in the words of the Most High, you'll see that we have always dealt with something other than the Most High, anything other than the Most High, always, and to this day. Like I said, we sing all praises. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep saying it because you got to say all praise to the Most High, all glory to the Most High, all honor to the Most High, all magnificent to the Most High. Power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, period. Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, whose name was changed to Israel. You see, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Those 12 tribes. That's who the Most I say he's the power of. So if you're not of the power of the Most High being one of those tribes, then he's not your power. No matter how you look at it. You can't make him be something that he's not. We got to look at all this because we've been disenfranchised from our heritage, our land. Our mind's been polluted. While you're talking about brain washed, your mind's not washed because you are thinking in an opposite way of the way you should be taught to teach and to believe and to follow what it is that is the truth from the Most High. You have followed the way of the world, this world that we were captured in, and many different ways. Our people are destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge, because they forgot the law of the Most High. Point blank. I mean, you can't look at it any other way. It's always going to come back to the Most High's work. When y'all say we ain't got to have no work, but then the Most High work to give us laws, statutes, commandments, you say that's null and void. Think about it. You gotta start thinking, y'all. You got to start using your mind to think, be an analytical thinker, because the world, remember the world, from us being in slavery, what was the problem that they had? And dumbing us down. The first ones they got was, we were engineers, we were doctors, we were lawyers. That's why when you look at when we were free and we created these cities. What do we have in these cities? Like Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You got to look at us. You can't look at what it is that we have been digressed and disannulled in our mind state and spirit to look at where we at now compared to where we were at. Come on. We had everything to operate as a city, and the money was generated within our city, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, for 1 year, circulated in our city. So we have the ability to do what's necessary to rule among ourselves. It's just we've been dumbed down, and we like it so. It's sad. That's why I say the God of this world has blinded the minds of them that believe not, man. And if we don't come back to the Most High, you don't start praising the Most High, you don't start looking at the Most High, you're gonna be in the same condition from generation to generation, and we ain't going nowhere. Period. Or prove me wrong. I'm challenging you to prove me wrong. You don't have to praise the Most High. You ain't got to glorify the Most High, and He the only one that's gonna get us out of this madness. And we done digress to all praises or APT TMH. I'm gonna keep saying it. TMH. Come on. When you talk about the Most High, are you serious? Man, I would be afraid. You know, that's why I say people that are taught the fear of the Most High. And ping, y'all leaving because ping, y'all gonna keep doing it. People gonna leave. I don't care. Most High don't care about no quantity. He care about quality. Straight up. Either you gonna be down with him or you not gonna be down with him. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power. Y'all know I say that every time I teach. Hebrews 10:31. Who's hearing? Y'all better share with somebody that need to hear it. It ain't going out void though. When you see the Most High's wrath, because we know we're gonna go through Jacob's trouble. And who is gonna get us out of Jacob's trouble? The Most High said He gonna get us out of it. But yet and still, man think, oh, okay, you gonna follow. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of robots and robot tees, man. Y'all better not be following the wrong way. You're gonna pay for that. And those that are causing our people to go the wrong way, you got to pay too. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Come on. You love Yasharallah, you cannot tell me I'm wrong and say we gotta praise the Most High. I'm waiting on somebody to step to the throne of the Most High and say, I ain't gotta praise you. I can just say all praises to who, leave it open to whoever. Whatever deity y'all want to call, they can call on. That's who you leaving it up to. Nah. Y'all better wake up, man. This serious. As serious can be, man. Can't get no serious than this. See, and I went through this. You go through this lesson, you see that people gonna call on the Most High. He ain't gonna want to hear nothing you got to say. Period. Because however you feel when you hearing about praising Him, and you still don't praise Him, better hear what the Most High is saying. As always, I digress. I'm going to Colossians 3:17 as always. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, whatever you say, whatever you do all by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. Giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. In the name of the Lord, say, we thank you, Most High. I thank you by Shama Mashiach Yahushai, and I love you by Shama Mashiach Yahushai, and I praise your holy name by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. Somebody got a problem with that? Take it up with the Most High. Step to the Most High and say, I ain't got to praise you. Step to the Most High and say, I don't love you. But yet still you want Him to do something for you. And you can't say, I love you. Don't you love the Most High? I love the Most High, man. Come on. Sad, man. But it's our people. We love it so. You know, we are rebellious people. We are really a rebellious people when you think about it. We are really rebellious. And it's sad, but it's real because we desire to be like everybody else. Always. Why we want to be like everybody else? Everybody want to be like us, but we want to be like them, somebody else. Who is it that you want to be like that you can really say that is down with the Most High of these other nations? Talk to me. You know, y'all want to comment on everything else. Do a debate on that. You know what I mean? Debate on that. We don't want to be like nobody else. Everybody want to be like us. They want to be us, but they want to be like us throughout the ages of antiquities. But we want to be like them. And they sitting back laughing at us all the way to the bank. All the way to the bank. And I mean that seriously. And some of you, that's what you about. Filthy lucre's sake, man. You know, it's not profitable for us. Look at 2 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, which is built upon, and the 3rd verse. And it reads, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Right? So if this gospel is hid, it's hid to them that are lost. Meaning, Hosea 4 and 6. Go there. Hosea 4 and 6. If this gospel here is hid to them that are lost. So who's lost? Let's find out. Wow. That's awesome. Praise the Most High. Hosea 4 and 6. And it reads, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We're looking at why we lost. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? So this knowledge comes when you look at Proverbs 1 and 7. Well, a lot of y'all won't get knowledge because you don't have this. And I hope that, you know, you will hear this and change to be able to receive it. Or pray the Most High that he'll give it to you. In Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Most High, to be scared, to be afraid of the Most High, is the beginning of knowledge. And knowledge is the gathering of the right information. A lot of people gather information, not necessarily the right information. Right now, you have the opportunity to look at this group saying this man saying this congregation saying this camp saying this. You have an opportunity to look at all the things that's being said and come up with your own doctrine. If our gospel is lost, it's lost to them that, let me read it again, that have no knowledge, the right knowledge, I'll say. They have knowledge. A lot of people, we have knowledge, but it's not the right knowledge. You know, I mean, and it's real simple. We're not talking about something that take a rocket science to figure out. A little child can hear this and figure it out. Believe me, I can prove that. But if our gospel be hid, 2 Corinthians 4 and 3, if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. So why is it that they're lost? Hosea 4 and 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? You see this? They're destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, the reason why they're destroyed for lack of knowledge, when you look at Proverbs 1 and 7, it says the fear or the opportunity to be afraid and be scared of the Most High, which people don't say. Y'all don't come up with these definitions that whatever dictionary have said fear means. But then when you look at, are you scared? Did you fear them? Yes. A person say, yes, I did. I feared. Man, that was fearless. I was afraid. I was scared. But when it comes down to the Bible and the fear of the Most High, don't mean that. Think about it now. It say the fear of the Most High, Proverbs 1 and 7, is the beginning of knowledge. You see this? And knowledge is the gathering of the proper information so that you can operate, you can learn it, you can live it, and you can apply it in your life. The proper information. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom. And wisdom is keeping of the commandments of the Most High first and foremost, doing what he say do. You're not going to have no wisdom if you're not doing what he say do, point blank. You off. You operating outside of the order that the Most High gave us. Most High, Hamashiach Yahushai, man, woman, child. I mean, and keeping his commandments, the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. So that's the information that you're getting that will give you knowledge. And when you have this information of the knowledge that you have from following what the Most High gave us to follow in his laws, statutes, commandments, his testimonies, that's all throughout the Bible, then you have wisdom, which is the proper application of how you apply that knowledge. But it say fools despise wisdom. So you're a fool. You despise the fact of how to get closer to the Most High, how to praise him and tell him you love him. Something wrong with our people and instruction. But 2/3 of our people, it don't matter how you look at it. You can elevate somebody high as you want to, but if they ain't elevating the Most High, they ain't about him. I don't care who it is. And I tell any of you in your face, you ain't saying praise the Most High. You ain't about the Most High. You can't praise the Most High. You can't elevate him. Come on. This is serious right now. How are we going to get out of our captivity? Who going to get us out of our captivity? Your leader, your preacher, your minister, your pastor, your priest? Talk to me. Only the Most High. How about y'all? I don't even know when he's going to come back to judge and make war. You think it's not important? But fools despise wisdom and instruction. This instruction is what you're getting right now. That's why going back to Hosea 4:6, it say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They don't fear the Most High. Who talking about the Most High? I've been saying it, man. Send me 2 hours, 3 hours of just talking about the Most High. I ain't talking about the Most High telling us anything as the Israelites, talk about any other nation. I'm talking about just the Most High. Then we can talk. He said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee. You reject fearing the Most High? You reject being afraid of being scared of the Most High? Most High said, I'm going to reject you. You don't even have a clue of how you're supposed to really fear him? To get that proper knowledge that he want to give you in the spirit? He ain't giving nobody no spirit and you out. You're not acting right. You ain't in the spirit with him. Come on. You go before the throne of the Most High for however you feel. By some of my side and let it be. But let judgment come. You should be that confident that it's all right to do what you're doing. Man, I'm afraid of the Most High. You better understand this. Y'all must ain't read the Bible. Y'all must be reading the Bible in some kind of fairy tale words that you see the majority of the time that you read this Bible, man. It's lamentation, woe, and mourning. Straight up. Why? Because we did not follow the Most High laws, statutes, commandments, and he put us in captivity after captivity after captivity. Man, when you look at what he said, man, he said, I don't even want to hear what we have to say, period. He gave us to the worst of the heathen. And he told us he's going to do that. Here we are now, and we still going backwards, man. Let me calm down. It said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten what? The law of thy power. The law of your power. The law that the Most High gave to the children of Israel. I will also forget thy children. You see that? That's why we are the children of those that were forgotten about, that were rejected. And some of us are coming back to the Most High. Some of us love him enough to praise him and talk about those that don't praise him, that took him out of the equation. You know what? The majority of y'all only talk about people. Prove me wrong. That's all you talk about is people, the Israelites and other nations, the Gentiles, whatever. That's all y'all concerned about. Don't you know that the Most High is going to visit this place in a real way? Don't y'all see the floods and the things that's going on this earth, man? They say they got a volcano in the Pacific Ocean that's a mile long, that if it erupts, it's going to cause 10,000 earthquakes immediately. And it's talked about earthquakes in diverse places. What you gonna do then? What you gonna? It's too late to cry on him. He gonna laugh and mock at you. That's what he's talking about. But now y'all know, everybody know, saying thou hast forgotten the law of the Most High, I will also forget thy children. He said, as they were increased, and we were increased as a nation, so they sinned against me. You hear that? And here we are now, still not even considering him. Enough, I'll say. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. That's why he changed our glory of our women into shame. And the men in the shame, the glory of Mashiach Yahushua. Mashiach Yahushua being the glory of the Most High, man. Mm, mm, mm. Go to Hosea 4:1. This is where it all began. He said, hear the word of the Most High, ye children of Israel. Talking to us, we the 12 tribes of Israel. For the Most High has a controversy with inhabitants of the land. Why? Because there is no truth. And we know what the truth is, class, right? We sing it every time I have class. Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. So your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, Most High, and your law, Most High, is the truth, the work of the Most High. What he wrote with his finger. And people just lackadaisically like it's no big deal. They just roll like they roll and not knowing that everything's being put in the books is going to be counted against us. That's why I say, man, the most I have a controversy. You got a problem, man, with the inhabitants of the land because there is no truth. There is the laws of the Most High is not to be taught. It's not being said. You can say repent and keep the laws all you want to, but if no way that people can learn the laws, you can go on my YouTube page and type going over the laws and start learning the laws that the Most High wrote with his finger. And once you start going into that, you're going to get other, lessons that's going to be dealing with the laws, the commandments of the Most High, because there is no truth. There's no truth here. The laws of the Most High is not even, he ain't even, come on, talk to me. He ain't even praise. Y'all can't even say praise the Most High. Y'all put APTTMH after you done type 5011 paragraphs. Yeah, the God of this world have you in some kind of delusion, some kind of way that you are just walking around here, no matter how much you know. I don't care how much you know. If you ain't going to acknowledge the Most High, people ask me what they come in. You think people that's not in the truth know what APTTMH mean? You think they know what TMH mean? Or Most High bless, or whatever. Most High Christ bless. You think they know what that means? That don't know? No. It's not being told what it means. You understand what I'm saying? But whatever you have to say, everybody know what you're saying because you type it all out. You make it known what you got to say. But when it comes down to him, y'all better hear this. If you really say you love him, you really praying to him, you want your prayers to be answered, but yet still, he's so insignificant that you just put APTTMH. Because you just nothing but robots and robot teachers. Y'all just following suit of what somebody has done and set up, and here y'all go following the same way. He says, because there is no truth, nor mercy. Mercy is not giving giving someone the things that they deserve to get. Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. You hear that? Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land, to the point where it's just all praises to what demon, what entity, who you leave it open to anybody. There's no knowledge of the Most High in the land. Like I said, send me 3 hours I'll go down to 2 hours of just the Most High in this Bible. I ain't talking about Most High talking to Israel. Send it to me. If you're looking at me, or you can tell somebody else they did it, send it to me. Just the Most High. I ain't talking about the Most High telling Israel this. I ain't talking about Israel. I ain't talking about no people at all. I'm talking about just him. Just him. Nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. You hear this? Most High, no knowledge of the Most High in the land, man. Not enough. Believe me. Trust me. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Somebody gonna hear it. The remnant, the ransom, the redeemed, always a certain number, the few. All these pertain to that 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. And understand this, 1/3 could be coming back with a Mashiach Yahushua, could be raised up. Part of them. Don't forget that. It ain't just got to be we that's living now as part of the 1/3. To say, did I make that one of the number? We can't even make ourselves one of the number. And I wonder where we at, because we always praised the Most High before. Now it's like we just, that being cut out by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery. They break out and blood touches blood. Say, therefore, said the land mourn. That sound like a lot of happiness to y'all. But all these things that we doing and have done and still doing, like he said, this time is worse than it ever been. Therefore shall the land mourn, and every one that dwelleth therein shall languish. That don't sound like a lot of love and happiness and joy to me. With the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yeah, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Everything will be taken away from us. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another, but thy people, for your people, are as they that strive with the priests. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night. And I will destroy thy mother. You hear that? You hear that? Do y'all hear that? Therefore shall I fall in the day. And we fell in the day. The Mashiach came back. He was in the day. And every time the prophets brought forth the truth, that brought forth the day. And the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night. When you go into darkness, ignorance, and not knowing. All these things for what? For breaking the Most High's laws and not exalting the Most High. Most High name is jealous. What part of that y'all don't understand? Something else more important than him. That's you. That's a terrible thing, man, when you think about it. For thy people are as they that strive with the priest. To the point where 2 Ezra 1:32, strive with the priests. This is how much we thought about the priests and Most High prophets that he sent. 2 Ezra 1:32 said, I send unto you my servants who are the Israelites, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, killed them, and torn their bodies in pieces. Not only killed them, I can't say it enough, man, tore the prophets' bodies to pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. So this is what we're looking at. This is what we did. We didn't only kill the prophets. We strive with the prophets, we killed them and tore their bodies to pieces. That's how off we are, man. And how off we have been. And here we are now. At least I'm thinking we're supposed to be getting together to be the best we could be. And we're going backwards, at least as far as the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua is concerned. Look at Jeremiah. Start at verse 29. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but somebody got to tell you. Because if you're just looking for you already put yourself in the kingdom, which you're not supposed to, and look at what you're doing is enough. We can never do enough. We can never do enough. That's why the Most High have to have mercy on Jacob. meaning not getting something we do deserve to get. But some of you think you deserve to be in the kingdom. We don't deserve nothing. Because we're the same people that he's talking about here. We just back again now trying to get it together to be worthy, to be part of the kingdom that's coming. I hope you think like that. It says, Jeremiah 25:29, for lo, I begin to bring evil on the city, which is called by my name. And should you be utterly unpunished? He said, I'm going to bring evil on the city that's called by his name, man. Yasharallah. Yerushalayim. And should you be utterly unpunished? Hear what he said? He's talking to us. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth. You hear that? Are you living on this earth? I think we are living on this earth. He said, I'm going to call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, said the Most High power of hope. The Most High said this, he's the power of army of angels. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Most High shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout, and as they that tread the grapes, smashing on grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. You know, he said the heavens of heavens can't contain him. To the earth is his footstool. You hear what he's saying? He said, as you stomp on grapes, that's people, against all the inhabitants, all the people of the earth. That's what I'm talking about. Who you talking about? He said he's going to be smashing people like you smash grapes. You know what it said? As they that tread the grapes, against all the inhabitants of the earth, man. He's going to be smashing people. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. We're in the end of the earth right now, y'all. It's the end of the earth. He said a noise going to come from the ends of the earth. But the Most High has a controversy. Hear that? With who? With the nations. And we're 12 nations that make up one nation, y'all. Yasharallah, 12 tribes of Israel. 12 nations, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, that make up 12 tribes of Israel. But we're 12 nations that make up one nation. Because he got a problem with these other nations. That's all they gods is idols. He said, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. We're in the end of the earth, y'all. It's the last days. But the Most High has a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh, like he's pleading with you through me right now. He will give them that are wicked to the sword. Who said it? Said the Most High. You can think you righteous you want to. He know your thoughts. He hear you whenever you think whatever you think. When I tell you, brother, be praised the Most High. He hear you. Don't think he ain't here. It's been written in the book. Y'all better stop saying all praises, leaving it open for these demons to be able to say, oh, yeah, praise. Look, they said that in Pasadena, all praises. They said they come to represent Satan, point blank. In our faces, they said that. For 2 years straight. Every first day. They said, we come to represent Satan. I ain't never went nowhere it was like that. I ain't seen nowhere nobody taught that was like Pasadena, man. Come on. That's why he said, he will give them that are wicked to the sword, said the Most High. Hear the word of the Most High, y'all. He said, thus said the Most High power of hosts. That's the Most High power of army of angels. They're right here on this earth, waiting on the commandment of the Most High, for the vengeance of the Most High. Behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. Stop this from happening. What's your method of stopping it? He said, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Come on. That's why, it hurts me to think about people that really don't Y'all just a bunch of robots and robotees, man. Y'all gonna follow anyone. I don't care if it's me that's off. You better be following somebody that's telling you the right way. It says, and the slain of the Most High shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. How you gonna stop that? He telling you what's gonna happen. Wouldn't you? I mean, this is real simple to me. All praise to the Most High. All praise you, Most High. Shoot, y'all can't say that. You know what he said? And the slain of the Most High. Bing, I know y'all gonna leave. Bing, they out of here. Because they think that their Most High is someone just like in Christian insanity. I don't care if you're Israelite or not. You done created your own Most High. Now I said, give me 2 hours just talking about him. Just talking about him. 3 hours just talking about the Most High. Now we can talk. You ain't gonna be leaving. You're gonna be want to hear what you gonna want to know about him. Bet you that. You hear what he said? And this is verse 33. He said, and the slain of the Most High shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Stop this from happening. Big bad Israelite, big bad Christmas sanity person. You hear what he said? The slain of the Most High shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented. You hear that? Ain't nobody gonna be crying over the slain people that's gonna be put to death. Neither gathered, they ain't gonna be gathered to have no funerals, no buried. You hear that? No buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. They shall be what? Dung upon the ground. You know what dung is, right? Feces, what you use in the bathroom, going down the toilet. Number 2, for a lesser word, right? They shall be dung upon the ground. How you gonna stop this? What's your method of stopping this? Say, how you shepherds, these men that's leading our people, you say, how? And cry. Say, wallow yourself in the ashes. That's humility. It's humility. Wallow yourself in the ashes, ye principal of the flock, those that are the leaders of the flock. For the days of your slaughter. That don't sound like a lot of love, happiness, and joy to me. Make it mean something different. Come on. How ye shepherds, ye leaders of the flock, and cry and wallow yourselves in the ashes, ye principal of the flock. For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee. You leading our people wrong, you telling our people this, that, and the third, whatever, you ain't gonna have nowhere to run. Most I telling you, all you that's in these different religions and so forth, most I ain't give us no religion. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee, nor the principle of the flock to escape. You ain't gonna be able to escape. A voice of the cry of the shepherds, those that are leading our people astray. And the howling of the principle of the flock, that's the ones that's the leaders over the people, have spoiled their pasture. You know that? They have spoiled their pasture. That's why he said a couple of chapters back in Jeremiah 23:1, he said, woe, destruction be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, said the Most High. You hear that? That's destruction to you. That's scattering the sheep of the Most High, telling them that they Gentiles have been grafted in among who? Huh? They don't know. They're not telling you. Therefore, thus said the Most High, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. You feed the children of Israel. You mega churches, pastors, and so forth, and you that are leading our people wrong, away from the Most High. Therefore, thus say the Most High, power of Israel. You hear that? He didn't say the power of no one but the Israelites. Therefore, thus say the Most High power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. You're teaching our people, the Israelites. Ye have scattered my flock, he said. I say you have them in scatter brain. You scatter the Most High's people, you scatter, they scatter brain. Their brain polluted. You have polluted their brains, their minds, the way they think. You have scattered my flock and driven them away from, some of you driving them away from praising the Most High. Just deal with that. You're driving them away from, and some of you think that the Most High is Hamashiach Yahushai, or Mashiach Yahushai is the Most High. You have no understanding. That's why I say, woe to you, destruction to you, pastors that destroy. Remember, we destroyed for lack of knowledge. For what? Because we have forgotten what? The law of the Most High. What church is teaching the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and taught of the ceremony, the sacrificial laws? Talk to me. What religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, sacrificial laws? What religion? If thou can say. That would say, woe to you, destruction to you, pastors that destroy. Remember, we destroy for lack of knowledge because we have forgotten what? The law of the Most High. Jeremiah 23:2. Therefore, thus said the Most High power of Israel. He ain't the power of nobody else. You see the power of Israel? How can I say the power of every nation? Where you see that in the Bible? You won't find that. He said the power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Most High. Look at verse 11. For both prophet and priest are profane, unholy. The only way you're going to be holy is to keep the Most High's commandments, keep the Most High's laws. Both the prophet and priest are profane, unholy. Yeah, in my house have I found their wickedness, said the Most High. Therefore, wherefore, their ways shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. Slipping in the darkness, right? Gonna be slippery ways in the darkness. You ain't gonna know which way to go. You just sliding, slipping and sliding, right? In ignorance. That's what he's talking about. Darkness means ignorance, not knowing, being stupid. They shall be driven on and fall therein. That don't mean you're gonna be standing, you're gonna fall. You're gonna bring you down. For I will bring evil upon them. You hear that? What does that mean? And it's amazing to me how this is what the Bible's talking about. This is what they have excluded you from and learning the Old Testament when they just teaching within the New Testament and don't even know that there is no New Testament. There's only the law and the prophets. That's all for anybody that walked the earth in the New Testament. So it's saying, wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. For I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, said the Most High. You see what he's saying? Said the Most High. Ain't no different now than then. If you follow the same suit as what he's saying here, what's the difference? There's no difference, y'all. It's the same thing. Just a different time, but the same spirit. Because we have disrespected and offended the Most High. Every last one of us. That's why we have to come back to him. We have no choice. We have no choice. That's why I'm going into this high-powered topic and how Second Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay. Verse 4. In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach Yahushua, who is the image of the Most High, they agree in being one, in the same mind, in the same judgment, as we have to be in the same mind and the same judgment, should shine unto them. You see, so this is what's missing, no matter how you look at it. That's why it says, "Lest the glorious gospel of Hamashiach Yahushua, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them," which is what? In whom the God of this world, somebody's ruling this world, the God of this world, have blinded the minds of them which believe not. You hear that? They don't believe this truth. They don't believe what it is that this Bible says. You know, you have people in opposition all the time against what we're dealing with the truth. Why they spend so much time in trying to stop what it is that we're bringing out from this Bible? We understand the understanding of the Bible, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. We understand that. They don't. They say what they say, Hebrew hopscotching. We you know, skipping here, skipping there. That's how the Bible's written, like a puzzle. Even in Bibles, they have precepts. You go to read a scripture, they tell you to go to a scripture to get more understanding. But here we are now in these last days, 2 Corinthians 3:14. But their minds were blinded. Then back during the time of Moses to now, a lot of our people's minds are blinded. That's why I say destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have forgotten the law of the Most High. They've forgotten the Most High, period. Now it's like, who is he? You leave it open to people to create their own power, as it is in religions, because they don't know the Most High. They say the Most High is a Mashiach Yahushua. Mashiach Yahushua praying to the Most High. He said he came in the Father's name. He's the glory of the Most High. Come on. They saying that he is the Most High. So, I mean, it's like all confusion. That's why I say, but their minds were blinded. For until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament. Do they read the Old Testament? No. Oh, that's the Old Testament. Come to the New Testament. Come to the New Testament. They still don't know it. Because there is no New Testament. There's only the law and the prophets. Anybody that walks the earth will prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. They had the New Testament when Mashiach walked the earth. Paul, Peter, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Talk to me. Y'all always got something to say. Talk to me. They didn't have no New Testament. They only had the law and the prophets. So if you don't know the law and the prophets, how are you going to understand the New Testament? Right here, where are we at? We way back in the time of the first 5 books of Moses. Hear what it said? But their minds during the time of Moses. That's the first 5 books of the Bible, y'all. Were blinded. Word means the past tense. During the time of Moses. For until this day, remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament. They don't understand it. Which veil is done away with in the Mashiach Yahushua. The only veil that's done away with the Mashiach Yahushua is the law of sacrifice. And he's bringing forth the understanding, but they don't understand even the Mashiach Yahushua. But even to this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. You hear that? When Moses read, they're blinded. Boop, they don't understand that. Why? Because they've been taught that we're not under the law, but under grace. Right? Am I right or wrong? We're not under the law. We're under grace. Why you want to put me in bondage again? Like, in the New Testament, 1 John 5:3, you want to be in bondage, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just repeating what they say. right? But 1 John 5:3 says, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Hmm? But you love him. But you don't have to keep his commandments. You know, the commandments are the laws. And his laws and commandments are not grievous, the two. But people choose what they want to follow because they are the same ones that said, crucify him and let his blood be on us and on our children. Or you are those people that are, Most High said in second Ezra, and I don't want you to be there, but I gotta bring it. I don't care. I have no partiality to no one, not even myself. Second Ezra 9:22. Second Ezra 9:22. Some of you are those people. Let the multitude perish then. That's a multitude of people. He said, perish then, which was born in vain. He said, and let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. You see? He made some of us, he's working, he's laboring to make some of us perfect. But how are you going to be made perfect when you don't even exalt him? You don't even think about him. He ain't even in your conversation. People say, all praise the Most High when something great happened. But all the time that they other conversation about themselves or something happening in their life or somebody else's life, whatever. I tell you, it's all about people. It's all about people. It ain't about the Most High. It's all about people. Too much, y'all. Too much. Look, Second Ezra 9:31. But behold, I sow my law in you. So you tell me how these religious people are following what the Most High said he's going to sow in his people, the law, when they're not keeping the moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, or learning of the sacrificial laws at all. He said, behold, this second Ezra 9:31 said, but behold, I sow my law in you, the ones that he's making perfect, and it shall bring fruit in you, and ye shall be honored in it forever. So when did it stop? When did forever stop, y'all? He said, you're going to be honored in his law forever. But our fathers, our forefathers, which received the law, kept it not, and observed not thy ordinances. And though the fruit of thy law did not perish, so when the law was done away with. Because it said the fruit of the Most High's law did not perish, neither could it, for it was dying. Think about that. And that's another thing. The Most High wrote the laws with his finger. That's why I say it was the Most High's. The laws was the Most High's. So it was dying. It was yours, Most High. He wrote it with his finger, and you're saying that you don't have to follow the law. So you're giving him your middle finger. Whoever's saying that. It's the Most High's, you know? And when you think about anything that's his, wouldn't you want to honor that? Wouldn't you want to honor his work? That he took the time to write with his finger? That's why y'all probably saying it don't matter. Y'all digress to saying all praises. APTTMH. TMH. Man. Yet they that received it perished. You hear that? We received the law. Who received the law? They that received it perished. Who received the law? Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He said, those that received the law perish, put to death. Who gave the law? They that received the law. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showed up his word unto Jacob. Psalm 147, 19 and 20. He showed up his word unto Jacob, our forefather. His statutes and his judgment unto Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. So he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, meaning the punishment for breaking the Most High's law, they have not known them. These other nations have not known the punishment of the Most High, the judgment of the Most High. Praise ye the Most High. You hear that? Y'all hear that? Praise ye the Most High. You can't say that? You see it right there, don't you? Praise ye the Most High. I ain't say no all praises, did it? Say all. It said praise ye the Most High. That's what I'm reading. You continue. Psalm 148 and 1. Praise ye the Most High. Praise ye the Most High from the heavens. Praise him in the heights. Praise ye him, all his angels. Praise ye him, all his hosts. Come on, y'all better understand this. Everything on this earth praise the Most High except for us right now as a people. I'm going to praise him. All praise to the Most High. All praise to you, Most High. Say whatever. Tell me I'm off. I wait on smoke for that. You justify that? Second Ezra 9:33. Yet they that received it, the laws of the Most High, perished. Why? Because they kept not the thing that was sown in them. It's cold, man. Verse 36. For we, Israelites, that have received the law, as I just read to you, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. Psalms 147, 19 to 20. For we, the Israelites that have received the law, perish by sin. You hear that? So we perish by sin, and these other nations, gods are all the idols that you can think of and can't think of and won't think of, because y'all want to bring them in for some reason. How are they not going to be dealt with in the judgment? He said they have not known the judgment of the Most High. They're going to have to learn the judgment of the Most High like we did. Come on. Notwithstanding the law, for we that have received the law perish by sin. What is sin? Y'all should know the definition of sin, how to define and where to find it at in the New Testament. You should know this. I want to give a definition of these words in the Bible so that you can't gainsay on it. What's sin? It's defined in 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever in the New Testament, whosoever committed sin, this is a definition of sin, transgresses also the law. See that? You didn't say commandments, it said the law, because the law and the commandments are the same. Whosoever committed sin transgresses also the law, for sin is a transgression of the law. That's why it said, verse 8, he said, he that committed sin is of the devil. For the devil sinned from the beginning. But his purpose, the Son of the Most High, Mashiach was manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. And that's what we did here to do. Destroy the works of the devil. Going back to my big brother Ezra, 2nd Ezra 9 and 36. For we that have received the law perish by sin. You say he put you to death because we sin. You perish because you sin. You break the commandments of the Most High. You break the laws of the Most High. But you're not taught moral laws. You're not taught civil laws. You're not taught ceremonial laws. You're not taught dietary laws. So you are going to perish because you sin against the Most High, who wrote these laws with his finger. And you giving him your middle finger saying we ain't under the law, but we in the mercy. And you a Gentile grafted in, don't know who you've been grafted in among. Come on, make that make sense. For we that have received the law perish by sin. And our heart, which is where you think, your mind, your thoughts, also which received it, notwithstanding the law perishes not. So I thought the law, we didn't under the law. You hear what I say? The law perishes not, but remaineth in his force. Remaineth in his force. So you think that that's the force of the Most High, y'all? Better understand, overstand this. This is serious. But what happened? Go to 2 Corinthians, because you know, the God of this world have blinded the minds of them that are lost. It's real powerful, yo. When you look at, you know, you go back and look at this whole lesson, and you'll see the things that have happened, why the people are in the mindset they're in. The mind's like it's like a hot iron that you, the mind, you just like sear it like a hot iron. You can't, just like tunnel brain. You got wall right here, just a wall. Whoo. You can't penetrate into their minds because they program, man. They did a mighty job, I'll say, in destroying us. But let's look at 2 Corinthians. Let's see if I want that yet. The 11th chapter. This is what we're dealing with. I mean, it's so powerful when you read, at least when I read the Bible, I'll be like, wow, I can relate to how we think from what is written here. Look at 2 Corinthians 11th chapter and verse 3. Say, but I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve, meaning he deceived her through his subtlety, his craftiness, slickness, sneakiness, craftiness. So your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in a Mashiach Yahushua. When you roll in by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. It's simple. What's so hard about, like I say, simplicity of a Mashiach Yahushua? You think he would have a problem with me telling you to praise the Most High? Say, I praise the Most High? You think the Most High have a problem with that? You think he have a problem with me telling you to write out all praise to the Most High? Think about it. Simplicity of a Mashiach, that's simple. All praise to the Most High. Come on, y'all got to hear this. And here we go. For if he that cometh preaches another Mashiach Yahushua, whom ye have not preached, or if you receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with it. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all bearing with whatever it is that the consequences are for eliminating the jealous power of the Most High and saying all praises. APTTMH. Your mind's been blinded, man. You can't praise him enough. He said, when you praise him with all your might. You're going to bear with him. All you that's following suit, bunch of robots and robotees, you won't follow suit with them. Second Corinthians 11, 14. And no marvel. No marvel. For Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. You'd be surprised. Y'all gonna be really awakened to a rude awakening, man. He says Satan himself is transformed, and he changed himself into an angel of light. But he looked like this angel of light, but he's really not. Because he didn't transform himself from who he is, the devil, deceitful and evil, enemy, adversarial foe, to be this angel of light. Why? I tell you, if our gospel be here in 2 Corinthians 4 and 3, it is here to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not. They don't believe this. They can believe, they believe, it's a lot of people saying that, okay, let me follow suit. They going over the cliff, I'm going to go over the cliff right with them. Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach Yahushua, the simplicity of Mashiach Yahushua we just read about is simple, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. You see? But you have allowed this to happen within your simple minds. You said 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. So a lot of y'all think that y'all following a Mashiach Yahushua when you really following Satan. Sad to say, but it's real. Therefore, it is no great thing, verse 15, if his ministers, so Satan have ministers, also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. You hear this? That's why you got to be aware, because righteousness is defined in Deuteronomy 6:25. Have y'all thought about this? Or y'all just look at, oh, they got to be righteous because they bring it forth. They know a lot. They know the commandments or whatever. You know what I mean? You see Satan appear as an angel of light. This is the definition of righteousness. And it shall be our righteousness. Deuteronomy 6:25. This defines righteousness. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he has commanded us. So what's Satan doing? Hear what it says? Therefore is no great thing if his ministers, 2 Corinthians 11 and 15, also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. What's that going to slaughter them, like we just read about? The ministers, remember he said he lead them to slaughter, he's going to kill them. Woe means destruction to them. We just read about it before we come in here in the New Testament. He already told you what he's going to do. Go back and look. If you just coming in, he already said what he's going to do then. Verse 13. Well, such are false apostles, deceitful workers. Behind the closed doors, they deceitful workers. They lying, transforming themselves into the apostles of Mashiach, like they rolling with a Mashiach Yahushua. You can't even say all praises to the Most High. Come on, y'all got to stop that. You got to let it go. You got to stop doing that. That's for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. So, appeared as an angel of light. What's the light? Proverbs 6. That's why this is so scary for you that don't know, that ain't really thinking about what the scriptures say pertaining to your life. Proverbs 6:23 said, for the commandment is a lamp and the law is light. You see? The law that the Most High wrote with his fingers. So here goes Satan, pretending like he's, operating in the law. But you don't know it because you don't know enough of the scriptures to realize this is what's going on. Then little that you know, you're gonna try and throw it at those that do know how you justify what you're doing when you do what you do when you do what you do to those that you're doing it to. That's why it's very important, to know these scriptures and how you operate, because I know, I had to deal with a lot to know what I know and be in the truth and operate in the truth and love it. I don't have no complaints about it. That's why I told you in Hebrews 13, a lot of y'all don't believe this. Hebrews 13 and 17, he said, obey them that have the rule over you. Now, this your teachers. And submit yourselves, it says, for they watch for your souls. They watch for the ones that are listening or that's learning, as they that must give an account, because they got to deal with, or we have to deal with, giving an account to the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua and the angels got to give an account. But we have to be on point. We cannot be off. We have to be on point. Or we can go through the throne of the Most High and let him deal with what he's going to deal with. Any way, shape, or form, how he going to deal with it? If you so sure of yourself. That's why a lot of times, a lot of these cats, y'all couldn't have made it. Y'all would have made it in One West. Y'all talk about One West. Y'all would have made it in One West. It's hardcore. But it made you, taught you how to be a man, how to take something. Give something, you give us something, you're going to have to take something. Y'all went around and you had to break the ground of going out there in the streets and no Israelite is known. They don't know about no Israelites. They don't know about this Bible and what it's really talking about, what we're teaching all the way to this day. And you ground breaking in new places where they never heard of Israelites and they never heard what the Bible really talking about. Come on, man. For you new brothers that's coming in, for you to be out there doing what you're doing. Well, no easy task, man. That's why I say obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. That's humility, man. That's respect. That's all it's talking about. For they watch for your souls, as they that must give an account. When we go to the Most High, about some of my side, we got to give an account for everyone, that they may do it with joy. You say that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. But make it be profitable for you. Because that's what people think. Oh, we on the same page. We ain't all on the same page. Oh, you should be doing whatever you're doing out there. You shouldn't be listening to me. You should be out there doing your own thing. Bringing more people on some other media aspect, or somewhere you out there street teaching and you doing something. Women, y'all teaching young girls like you're supposed to be doing, or girls supposed to be teaching women, children, or whatever. You be on another level, man. That they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. For real, for real. That's why we got to look at all this in perspective of how we got to face the Most High. And we face the Most High because it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living power. And the people that's ruling this world right now, they have people in delusion, man. A lot of people, man, it's a real prideful time. Very, very prideful time. And that's what I see. A lot of people, they're very, very, very prideful. While the God of this world is blinded the minds of them that are lost. They're lost. And they think they're rolling in the spirit. If that's the case, you should be out there teaching everybody. Don't be here. You be over there teaching somebody. More people can be learning because it's only so many people that can learn from my teaching. Going out there and teach what you know. Make it happen. You got more, like I say, oh man, they over there. Good. Somebody teaching over there. Great. Because I'm not there. I can't be there and here at the same time. Can I? No. Great. You know. 2 Corinthians 13:5. All praises to the Most High. You know, I was talking to people, man, they didn't talk about the Most High. They nothing to say about the Most High. They talk about people or what he done did. Not him, but what he done did. Like I say, I don't know, it's some kind of, is that veil over their face? I guess. I don't know, like you just read, man. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Think about how many times, count how many times I say the Most High in my lesson. I say it to you as I'm talking to you, you that know me. Hopefully it'll rub off on you. So examine yourselves. 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know you not your own selves? You know yourself? Well, you known by what you do. You can't say it ain't you. You do something, you can't say, I ain't do that. I ain't say that. You know your own self? How the Mashiach Yahweh is in you, except ye be reprobates? Hear that? You be good for nothing, man. I'm telling you, man, you gotta know your own self. Come on. It's very, very important. I mean, everybody gonna have to stand the test, and you're a reprobate, you ain't standing the test, man. You gotta be able to know what you know when you know, because you know the devil done appeared as an angel of light, and here it is. You following those. I mean, y'all gotta say a bunch of robots and robotees, man. You following someone that's whoever it is. I don't know who it is, but you know, I know that saying is going out. All praises, you know. It's not a good thing. Job 37 chapter. You can't praise the Most High enough. I know one thing. I know King David was praising him. He gonna be the king in the kingdom. And say that King David was a man after the Most High's own heart. Look at Job 37 and 3. Job 37 and 3. Trust in the Most High. Trust or have faith in the Most High. And shalom to everyone online. Welcome. Shabbat shalom. Welcome. And I hope this message will touch some of you. I hope you'll, like and share this message, because someone needs to hear it so we can get closer to the Most High. Trust in the Most High. Have faith in the Most High. And do good. Right? So shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed. You see? Delight thyself, delight yourself also in the Most High. You hear that? Delight thyself also in the Most High, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. So how you gonna give you the desires of your heart and you even talk about them? I'm talking about something real simple. Yeah, you get that God of this world made you lost, where it took the Most High away from you. You can't even say all praise to the Most High. Unbelievable. But believable because it's a fact. It says, delight thyself also in the Most High, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy way unto the Most High. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. It's a condition always, though. And he shall bring forth your or thy righteousness as the light. You're going to bring forth you keeping the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High as the light. You're going to be illuminated. And thy judgment as the noonday. I'm going to bless you. Psalms 139:23. So these are examples. These are solutions that works. Psalms 139:23. Say, search me, O Most High, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Is that what I want? You should want that too. Search me, O Most High, and know my heart, know my mind. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. You know, we can live forever and ever and ever, rather than allowing the devil that appeared as an angel of light to lead you. And next thing you know, you dealing with pride and arrogance and thinking you all that, and don't even see that you're a reprobate in the way that you're conducting yourself before the Most High. Everything we say is before the Most High. I think people forget that. I start with Colossians 3:17 all the time. Wake up with it. Go to bed with it all throughout the day. Whatever we say, whatever we do is before the Most High. I don't think people realize that. But you're going to realize it, tell you that. That's guaranteed. Believe this. What's he going to do when he come for you? Psalms 140, we'll start at verse 6. I said unto the Most High, thou art my power. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Most High, as I cry to the Most High. O Most High power, the strength of my salvation. Thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, for real, grant not, O Most High, the desires of the wicked. Hear that? Grant not, O Most High, the desires of the wicked. Those that's out of order, those that's not following the commandments of the Most High. Grant not, O Most High, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Who you think need to be exalted? The Most High. He don't want the wicked to be exalted unless they exalt themselves. He say, grant not, O Most High, the desires of the wicked. You that think wrong, act wrong, and do things that's wrong, no matter who you are. Further not his wicked devices, lest they exalt themselves, thinking they all right. As for the head of those that compass me about, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. What they saying about me, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire, into deep pits, that they rise not up again. Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him. You hear that? Violent man. Evil gonna hunt you to overthrow you. I know that the Most High will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto the Most High, to thy name, the Most High. Are you going to do it? Are you going to thank the Most High? Hmm? The upright shall dwell in thy presence. So the unrighteous not going to dwell in the presence of the Most High. No matter how you look at it. Psalm 16 and 13. So y'all been fooled, man. Why we trying to get you out of this darkness, this ignorance of not knowing. Psalm 16. And now I want to start at verse 4. Their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another power, another God. You hear that? Their sorrows shall be multiplied that hasten after another God, another idol. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. You hear that? That's serious. For the Most High to discard your name, he said, their drink offerings of blood will I not offer. He said, nor take up their names into my lips. That's real serious, y'all. Go to Jeremiah 11. Jeremiah 11th chapter. And look what he said to us. And that's why I say, I read the scriptures from the point of the Most High talking to us, because I pray for guidance and instruction, correction, and the way that I should bring forth his word. And I look at this as the past, the present, and the future. But mainly the past and the present, because the future is prophecy. But some things are here that equate to us today, right now. Look at Jeremiah, the 11th chapter and the 3rd verse. It said, and say thou unto them, unto us, the Israelites, thus said the Most High power of Israel. You notice he keeps saying the power of Israel. Is he not the power of nobody else but the Israelites? This is what he's saying to us. Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant. It's very important. This contract, this agreement, these laws, statute, commandments, and judgments that he gave to us, the Israelites, he said, cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant. Don't let nobody tell you ain't got to follow the Most High. That's what they're saying. You ain't got to follow him, but you got to follow the law of the land. You got to follow the so-called white man's laws, statute, commandments, which we do. You got to follow the Most High's laws, statute, commandments. But you ain't gonna be down with everything that's against the Most High's laws. That has nothing to do with your worlds or our worlds. I don't have to accept what it is that the Most High says is an abomination, a filthy, wicked act. You have to. That's turning your back on him. Which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice and do them. Do what? The commandments, the laws of the Most High, according to all which I command you. So shall ye be my people, and I will be your power. We the Israelites, man. That I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers, to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day. Then answered I and said, so be it, O Most High. Then the Most High said unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant, and do them. Hear the words of this contract, this agreement that, do y'all understand how powerful it is. You won't find, like I was dealing with no logic, what call itself God logic, talking about the covenant is with the Gentiles. No, 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 no way. The covenant is only with the Israelites. Only. Period. That's it. The covenant is with the Israelites. Only. This is what it says. He said, we that came out of Egyptian captivity, that's it. We the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why he said, hey, verse 6, then said the Most High unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant and do them. The covenant is the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. He said, do them. Do the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice. He's telling you today to obey his voice. Yet they obeyed not. We sinned against the Most High, nor inclined their ear. They didn't want to hear what he had to say. But walk every one in the imagination of their own evil heart. Hear that? Evil mind. Therefore, I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant that they don't want to keep, they don't want to follow, which I commanded them to do, but they did them not. And the Most High said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. We in captivity, y'all, the Babylonian captivity. Still not want to do what the Most High said do. Like we in captivity now. Still not want to highly exalt the Most High and do the things he's telling us to do. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words. And they went after other gods to serve them, like these religions. Show me what religion the Most High gave us. That's in this Bible. They can go, this the doctrine of the Baptist church. You going to Jeremiah and find it? You going to find it in Isaiah? You going to find it through a Mashiach Yahushua? Where you going to find it at? The Catholic Church, Jehovah's Witness. Well, we reading, this is what he gave us. When he brought us out of Egypt, he gave us your religion. Seventh-day Adventists, huh? When he brought us out of Egypt, he gave us your religion. Think about it. He did not. Verse 10 says, then they turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words. And they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah, all 12 tribes, northern tribes, southern tribes, have broken my covenant. You see that? That contract, that agreement, the laws, statute, commandments that he made with only the Israelites, which I made with their fathers. Therefore, thus said the Most High Power, behold, I will bring evil. Y'all think you ain't got to follow the laws of the Most High? You ain't follow his commandments? He said, therefore, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall, this is deep right here. This is real deep. Say, though they shall cry unto me. And that's the only time that the Most High have pity on us, because you ain't crying unless you have humility. I will not hearken unto them. Woo. I read that, man, that hit home, boy. He said, and though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense. That's what we're doing. And we're doing it right now. But they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. You hear that? these other religions and philosophies and things that you believing in that ain't about him. It's just about people. You hear what he's saying? Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, where we are, go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense. But they shall not save them at all. Your religion ain't going to save you at all in the time of their trouble. Listen to what we did. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods. Do y'all realize? See, that's real hurtful to me because he said, I'm going to go to my place in Hosea 5:15 until we acknowledge our offense. You're looking at it right here. You know, Satan appeared as an angel of light, and we going with Satan. We going with the devil until this day. His ministers appear as an angel of light. You going with his ministers that appear as an angel of light. Oh, they got to be righteous. They got to be this, that, the third, whatever. They ain't talking about the Most High. You better understand, it's real simple. The simplicity of a Mashiach Yahushua that came in the Most High's name was always talking about the Most High. And y'all ain't Mashiach them. Show me what he wasn't talking about the Most High. He was talking about the Most High, y'all. His name is Jealous. You hear what he said? For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, man. And I've been over there, man. It's like empty. He said he's going to make the land desolate. It's desolate, y'all. This word is true. We can't even imagine. Have they ever showed you any footage of the cities that we had built in Judah, in the land of Israel? Have you seen that? No. They're discovering everything else. Why they can't show that? They can't show that. They give you some imagination, some imaginary buildings or whatever, but they can't show that because it's desolate. Like he said he's going to do. He did it, man. Look what he say. For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Until this day, man. Can't tell me you ain't doing it. I'll show you in every class. We set up altars to burn incense unto Baal. And that's what these nations, especially the ones that wrote the Bible, that I'll say not wrote, but it published the Bibles, because they did write certain things in the Bible. So I can say that they did do that also. You know, and we burnt incense on the altars to Baal. And we had the most high power of Israel. You hear that? Verse 3, and said to them, thus said the most high power of Israel. We got the power of powers, man. And we burn incense to other gods, even incense on our altars to Baal. And they took Baal and they put it in the Bible as what? You see that? You see what it means? Lord. You see that? This is what we did. And it keep coming out because they need to come out. That's from the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. And I have the New Unger's Bible Dictionary right here. You see what it means right there? No matter how you look at it. Baal means Lord. And y'all can come up with a way that you can try and make it justify if you want to. I'm not saying it. You know, I'm not saying Lord. They put it in there, and you can come up with a Hebrew word from whatever you translating out of Yiddish if you want to. You ain't gotta say it. Shows you what it means. Here it is right here. Listen, I'm gonna read it to you again. And to this day, man, we still calling on Baal. If his name is Lord, if your name is Robert, they call you Bob, they call you Bobby. Isn't it still Robert? Your name Thomas, they call you Tommy, they call you Tom. I mean, same person, you're dealing with the same thing. Bing, y'all gotta be up out of here. Bing, they leave. You know, but you still gonna be held accountable because you heard it. Everything being written in the book. You've been told, you've been shown. Okay? Just look at what he said. Verse 13, Jeremiah 11 chapter. For according to the number of the cities were your gods. I mean, as many cities we had gods in all these different cities, y'all. It's terrible. It's terrible. So according to the number of the cities were your gods, O Judah. And according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, have you set up altars to that shameful thing? It's a shameful thing. Even altars to burn incense unto Baal, which is Lord today. And they put it in the Bible. We didn't write that in the Bible. You know we didn't publish Lord Baal in the Bible. They put it in the Bible, y'all. You don't have to say that. Therefore, pray not thou for this people. You hear that? He said, don't even pray for you. He's therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. Oh, y'all just gonna do whatever you want to do? Y'all think it's not important? Through the Spirit of the Most High, you better hear what he's saying. He said, therefore pray not for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Come on. He the only way we're going to get out of this situation we in. And we ain't seen Jacob's trouble like it's going to be. Hear what he said? You think he not going to say this when you steady dealing with what you're doing that's wrong and not exalting him, not even praising the Most High? Hear what he said? Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Come on, man. What's you gonna do in this time of the trouble, Jacob's trouble? What's your plan? What's your plan? Help me. What's your plan? When the Most High say, I ain't even hear none of our prayers, and he our only hope. You gonna wait till Jacob's trouble come and then you gonna try and cry to him? He said, hey, therefore pray not thou for this people. Don't bring no prayers that they had to say to me. Don't pray for this people. He say, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. That's serious, y'all. For I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Y'all realize how serious that is? What have my beloved to do in mine house, saying she hath wrought lewdness with many? This God, that God, this religion, that religion. Can't even say all praise to me, to the Most High. Lewdness with many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee. When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest. Hear that? When we did evil, then we happy. That's sad, man. That's real sad. When I could show you, go to Judges 10 and 10. He said, don't even cry. When we cry to the Most High, saying, we can hear you. That's serious, man. And the children of Israel cried unto the Most High, saying, we have sinned against thee. That's very important. That's the solution right there, y'all. We have sinned against the Most High. both because we have forsaken our power and also serve this demon, this idol, this God, Baalim. And the Most High said unto the children of Israel, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians? Look at all these people we're in captivity under. Y'all think we just came over here in captivity over here? In this period of time that we've been in captivity? No, say. He said, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians? We was in captivity on all these nations. Egyptians and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines. You know, these Hamite nations and Ammon representing, Hamites are the so-called Africans. Ammon represent the indigenous, mind you, so-called Japanese. Zidonians, most so-called Africans also. And the Amalekites, that's the Jewish people today. And the Moabites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Remember the Most High said, when we cry to him, he's not going to deliver us in the time of our trouble. Y'all better hear what he's saying. How much time did it take for us crying to him before he decided to deliver us out of our trouble? Captivity on all these nations. That ye have forsaken me and served other gods. Over and over again, same thing as we just read in Jeremiah. We in Judges. He said, you have forsaken me and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. What did he tell us? He said, go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Remember, Satan appeared as an angel of light. Got everybody for him to transform himself into an angel of light. He said, Moses said, yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods. And did you serving him? Wherefore I will deliver you no more. He said, go and cry unto the gods of the religions. These idols which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation, the time of our trouble, as he just said. And the children of Israel, we as the 12 tribes of Israel said unto the Most High, we have sinned again. So who is without sin? He said, we have sinned. We have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee this day. And they put away the strange gods from among them. Got rid of Lord. They got rid of Baal. And all the ones that go along with Baalim and all the rest of them. Por and all of that. And they put away the strange gods, all the different religions that we caught up in. From among them. Like y'all getting ready to celebrate Christmas. Has nothing to do with a Mashiach that was shot. At all. And they put away the strange gods from among them and served the Most High. But see, they put Lord there. And y'all constantly saying it because it's right there. And they put it there. I went through the lesson showing you what they took out. And I'll show you what they put in. You can't accept that. But just what they done. And they put away the strange gods from among them and served the Most High. And his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. You hear that? So how much time did it take for him to hear our cry when he said in Jeremiah 11 and 14, therefore pray not thou for this people. You lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. So how much time was it that we cried to the Most High before he felt the misery, trouble, the tribulation that we're in before he really released that oppression that's upon us through these other nations? How much time was that? You thought about it? Because we're in the same situation right now. We're in the same situation. Ain't no different. What's different? Tell me what's different. I know it's going to be Jacob's trouble. He going to deliver us, but how much we got to go through. Look what it says. That's why I say Hosea 5:15, man. I mean, hear the word of the Most High. He said, look, I can't warn you enough, boy. He said, I will go and return to my place. I'm leaving y'all alone. That's what he's saying. Till they acknowledge their offense. We have sinned. Like we just said back then, we have sinned. You want to know what work with the Most High? Well, we just read. We have sinned. Till we acknowledge our offense, how we sinned against him, how we broke his laws, statutes, commandments, and offended him. That's the offending of the Most High. We got to acknowledge it. And seek his face. Seek my face, it says. That's very important. In their affliction, they will seek me early. You hear that? In their affliction, they will seek me early. So how long of the Jacob's trouble, how long that we're going to be afflicted before he allowed us to be delivered for the last time, y'all? This is the very last time, y'all. It's like, I don't know what's going to take. 2/3 of our people ain't about nothing. I don't give a damn what they know. Understand this. 2/3 of our people ain't about nothing. They're not the ones that's going to be leading our people to the kingdom. Some people are set up for filthy lucre's sake. I mean, they're still the people that's in this book. You got different Israelites that's set up right now on this earth that's leading our people this way, that way, whatever way you want to think of. And they're not really looking at seeking the face of the Most High, because you can't even say all praise to the Most High. Come on, what's wrong with that? Because you do leave it open for these other gods, these idols, to be able to come in and say praise to them, then you already gave them the praise, then you come back and say praise the Most High after the fact. No, don't leave that open. Don't leave that open. We are the ones that the Most High dealing with. Don't leave that door open for them demons to come, man. It's serious. I don't know how serious it is to you. I know about what I know. What's written in this Bible. What's going down, what's going to go down, and what you can see what's happening right now. Unless you blind. You in this truth, you should see a lot that's going on right now, man. Shoot. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter. And start at verse 1. It says, for thy incorruptible spirit is in all things. Therefore chastenest thou them by little and little that offend. You hear that? Therefore chastenest thou, you tear your butt up, or tear our butts up. I'm included. I ain't excluding myself for nothing. Therefore chasten thou them by little and little from that offend, and warned them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended. You hear that? That's very important. That's why I'm bringing it forward, because he's showing me these things, and I want you to know. If nobody else telling you, you need to know. Straight up. Therefore chasten thou them by little and little that offend. He said, I'm going to go to my place to acknowledge our offense against the Most High. And he chastened us little by little, man, that offend, and warned them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness, they may believe on thee, O Most High. You gotta believe, man. You gotta stop dealing with whatever somebody's telling you that's wrong and following whatever it is the crowd is doing. And believe on the Most High. And praise the Most High. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land. You hear that? It was a will of the Most High to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hated, for doing most obvious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices. That's why a lot of y'all don't realize a lot of these things that's going on is crafty witchcraft. Why I go to, the Spirit brought me to Revelations 18 and 23, the last sentence. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So you can look at it how you want to, as looking, you can point the finger at somebody over there that's of another nation, or you can point the finger right at us. Because you see what we're talking about. Do us too. We're dealing with this. Why the Most High telling us, I suffer not a wish to live and so forth. Why he saying that? Because we dealing with these things. Listen what it say. Wisdom of Solomon 12:4, whom thou hatest for doing most obvious works of witchcrafts, sorceries, witchcrafts, sorceries, and wicked sacrifices. Hear that? Wicked sacrifices, not the sacrifices the Most High would have us to do to please him. We were doing wicked sacrifices. And also those merciless murderers of children. Hear that? Those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood. Killing the children, man, sacrificing the children. With their priest out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that kill with their own hands souls destitute of help, man. That's why when you look at, I mean, that's in the Apocrypha, right? They say it's not canon. Don't believe that. Let's go into, well, that's right. They don't deal with the Old Testament nowhere, but we're going to go deal with it because it's right here. That's all they had to go by. Anybody that walked on the earth in the New Testament or the Old Testament, that's all they had was the law and the prophets. That's it. They didn't have no New Testament. Now let's look what we did. Let's see how y'all say the Apocrypha is not canon. Let's go into the Psalms 106. And we can start at verse 35. You see what they did? You see what the parents sacrificed their children? With their own hands, destitute of help. Children couldn't help themselves. Here we are here in Psalms 106 and 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. That's why the gods of this nation have deceived you, man, through their sorceries and so forth, man. We learned the works of these other nations. And they serve their idols. Hear that? We serve these other nations' idols. And to this day, religions and so forth. Where your religion come from? Show me where the Most High gave you your religion in this Bible. He gave you moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws in your religion. When we came out of Egypt, he gave you your religion. Psalm 78 and 5. This cancels out all religions. Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob. This cancels out all religions. He established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel. A law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known, that them is the laws that the Most High wrote with his finger, known to their children, right? That the generation to come might know them. What's that them? The laws of the Most High. Even the children which should be born. This cancels out all religion. Or tell me what religion is keeping the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and have taught of the sacrificial laws, if thou canst. You won't be able to. That's why I was showing you that your religion is nothing but idolatry that the Bible's talking about. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children. That they might set their hope in the Most High. Ain't no hope in the Most High. Y'all even praising the Most High. You even know how to, y'all talk about the Most High as a Mashiach Yahushua, and Jesus is the Most High, and Most High is Jesus. Come on, man. That they might set their hope in the Most High and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. You see that? So you tell me, from verse 5, it says, for he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel. The law and the commandment is not the same. Verse 7, that they might set their hope in the Most High, your faith in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. See, it might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart or their mind aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. You see, verse 10 said they kept not the covenant of the Most High, that contract, that agreement, the law, statutes, commandments he gave to the 12 tribes of Israel, and refused to walk in his law. Hear that? Refused to walk in his law as it is today. And forgot his works, what he done, and his wonders that he showed them. So come on, man. Going back to Psalms 106, 35. For were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. Exodus 34, 11. Exodus 34 and 11. We'll mingle among these other nations and learn their works. The Most High told us not. Look. Exodus 34, 11. Observe thou that which I command thee this day. Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite. These all so-called Africans, Hamite nation. We're from Shem. I drive out before thee the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite. He said, take heed to thyself. Take heed to yourself, he's telling us. We, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, 13 with Dan at this time. Take heed to thyself. Take heed to yourself, lest thou make a covenant or a contract or agreement with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest, lest it be for a snare, a trap in the midst of thee. But ye shall destroy their altars, whatever they believe in, religions, whatever they believe in, break their images and cut down their groves, destroy everything they believe in, for thou shalt worship no other power. You hear that? He said, but thou shalt worship no other power, for the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. So lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, which we have done. Without a shadow of a doubt. Now to this day, all these religions set up by man, woman, or whoever that we following, and it's not dealing with what we just read in Psalm 78 and 5 down at all. Period. Following the Most High's commandments. But thou shalt worship no other power. Hear this word that the Most High is speaking. For the Most High, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. Lest thou make a covenant, that's a contract or agreement with the inhabitants of the land, which they have done. From slavery all the way to now, man. Program you in a way so you can be brain polluted and not brainwashed. When you wash something, you clean it. As I read, Masha Shai said in St. John 15 and 3, now you are clean through the word that I speak unto you. St. John 17, 7, and sanctify them through that truth. That word is truth. Lest thou make a covenant, agreement, contract with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, which you have done in these religions. Do sacrifice unto their gods. You sacrifice unto their gods. And one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons. We let you know interracial marriages is out the window. It's not with the Most High. And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods. Thou shalt make thee no molten gods. That's what we have done, man. You know, Calvary Church got all kind of gods up in there, all kind of idols and so forth. And that's what happened to us. Psalm 106, because they say the Apocrypha is not canon. What are we reading in the Apocrypha? In Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 6, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help. Man, that's their children. Here we are. It's telling you the same thing in the Bible. The regular, that's in the Apocrypha, Now we're reading in the regular Bible in Psalms 106. We'll start at verse 35. But we'll mingle among the heathen, these other nations, and learn their works. That's what we did. We learned their works. And they served their idols. We served their idols. We served their idols, which was a snare, a trapping of them. Yeah, they listen at this. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. What we just read in the Apocrypha. And shed innocent blood, which is what? What did he call them? He said, destitute of help, these children. And shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters. Look, Wisdom of Solomon 12:6. And the parents that killed with their own hands, sold destitute of help, children, and shed innocent blood. Psalms 106:38. Even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed with their own hands, it said, unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred, he hated his own inheritance. We, the 12 tribes of Israel, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen. And they that hated them ruled over them. Get some love out of that, y'all. Y'all want to love everybody. Nobody love us. They that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies. Now you call these heathen nations our enemies. Say their enemies also oppressed them. And they were brought into subjection under their hand. Say many times did he deliver them. But they provoked him with their counsel. What you saying behind the scenes? You know, most I hear everything. Ain't nothing that's invisible with the Most High. Say the Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of man, and even the secret parts. And he showed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. A lot of y'all, you don't see me, people, you don't know, man. The Most High is showing. He's showing the fact that he telling his servants, man, who are the children of Israel, certain things, man, them secrets, man. When you tap into him, y'all ain't praising him enough to be tapped into him enough. Y'all just dealing with understanding precepts and so forth. But I mean, when you really start really praising him, you're gonna see another spirit that's gonna enter into you that's beyond what you can imagine, man. Many times did he deliver us, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction. He regarded, remember, in our affliction, we're going to seek him earlier. That's what he told us in Hosea 5:15. So we say, in our affliction, when he heard their cry. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction. How long does this affliction last? How long Jacob's trouble going to last? Talk to me. How long does affliction last before he heard our cry? Remember, he said, hey, don't even pray to me about them. Get out my face. They don't want to hear nothing we have to say. Well, let's see you debate God. What? What? I'm bringing forth what the Most High has to say. Point blank. This is what he said. Said many times that he delivered them, but they provoked him with their counsel and were brought low for their iniquity. Understand this. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction. He regarded our affliction. When? When he heard their cry. When he heard us crying. That's the only time that the Most High delivered us. And how long do we have to be afflicted before he heard our cry? How long we got to cry in Jacob's trouble before he hear our cry? And he remembered, but them, his covenant, that contract, that agreement, and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. See? Dang, mercy, that's mercies that he had. Who he say gonna have mercy on? Show me where he gonna have mercy on Edom. Show me how you gonna have mercy on Ishmael. How you gonna have mercy on Moab, Ammon, Elam. Y'all know who these people are? You should know. You should know all these people. Ham, you should know all these people because they in the Bible and they the enemies and the haters of the Most High. Overstand this. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon 12. Verse 6, it said, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that killed with their own hands, souls destitute of help. Man, that's the children we just read about. They killed the children. You see? That the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive a worthy colony of the Most High's children. Nevertheless, even those thou sparest as men, and didst send wasps, forerunners of thine host. He sent wasps against to destroy them by little and little, right? Not that thou was unable to bring the unrighteous under the hand of the righteous in battle, or to destroy them at once with cruel beasts, or with one rough word. You hear that? One rough word to destroy everybody, man. That's what he's telling you. But executing thy judgments upon them by little and little. Like he gonna do with us, Jacob's trouble. Little by little, man. Thou gavest them place of repentance. Gave us place of repentance, man. Like people are getting place of repentance now. Not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, like we're a naughty generation now, and that their malice, hatred without a cause, was bred in them, and that their cogitation would never be changed, man. For it was a cursed seed from the beginning. You hear that? It was a cursed seed from the beginning. Neither didst thou for fear of any man give them pardon for those things wherein they sinned. We had to pay the price, y'all. For who shall say, what hast thou done? Who gonna say this? What hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Who gonna say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Who gonna withstand the judgment of the Most High? Going before the throne of the Most High and say, hey, bring your judgment on. I don't think so. People doing all that talking. Mostly everybody talk about what? People. That's it. All y'all talk about, what you gotta say? It's something about some people, I bet you. It ain't about the Most High. They ain't praising the Most High. Just scoffers just want to come in and be a scoffer against the Most High, man. Who shall say? What you gonna say? What hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish? Talk to me. You hear that? Get some love out of that. Say, who gonna accuse the Most High for the nations that perish? Nations that you're gonna kill. Perish, take out of existence. Whom thou hast made. Or who shall come to stand against thee to be revenged for the unrighteous man? Who gonna stand before the Most High to be revenged for the unrighteous man? Talk to me. Who gonna stand before the Most High, stand against the Most High to be revenged for the unrighteous men or unrighteous women? For neither is there any power but thou that careth for all, to whom thou mightest show that thy judgment is not unright, that their judgment is not unright. Whatever you do gonna be right. Yeah. I love the Most High, man. I love this, man. Neither shall king, no matter who's in charge, neither shall king or tyrant be able to set his face against thee for any whom thou hast punished. You hear that? Ain't no king, ain't no tyrant gonna be able to set his face against the Most High for any whom the Most High have punished. He just said that them nations perish, gonna take them out of existence. For as much then as thou art righteous thyself, Most High, thou ordereth all things righteously. Everything that he do is righteous, thinking it not agreeable with thy power to condemn him that have not deserved to be punished. For thy power is the beginning of righteousness. You hear that? All power to the Most High. Thy power is the beginning of righteousness. And because thou art the most high power of all, it maketh thee to be gracious unto all of the Israelites. But when men will not believe that thou art thou art of a full power, thou showeth thy strength. You don't want to, like I say, Hebrews 10:31 says it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. He says, for when men will not believe that thou art of a full power, thou showeth thy strength. And among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest. You hear that? We that know it, he maketh our boldness manifest. He manifests our boldness in your face. That's why it says in Wisdom of Solomon. Now, before we get there, go to Psalm 94:16. He said he maketh their boldness before their face, right? Psalm 94:16 says, who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Who will rise up for the Most High against the evildoers? Against the evildoers. Or who will stand up for me, that's the Most High, against the workers of iniquity? Who gonna rise up for the Most High against the evildoers? Who gonna stand up for the Most High against the workers of iniquity? Tell you. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, it says, then, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, the 1st verse, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness, like he say. Gonna be boldness in their face. Then the righteous man gonna be standing in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. They're gonna be scared and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. You understand? When salvation, power from the authority is coming to the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua and the 12 tribes of Israel, that remnant, that's salvation. When he redeemed us from these wicked nations, wherever we scattered in most of these countries, they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all they look for. You hear that? That's why it's a beautiful thing to know. So what you going to do when he come for you? What's your method? Help me out. What you going to do? Somebody, he said somebody going to stand for him. I hear people, they ain't never stood up. They ain't stood in front of nobody, man. Bow down to the enemy all the time. Got to suck up to them, man. They got something to say about what we dealing with and risking our lives dealing with this truth, man. Being bold as it's saying we're supposed to be in these last days, man. Come on. Go somewhere and put your head in the hole somewhere. Get out of here. 1 Timothy 6:3. First Timothy 6:3. If any man teach otherwise, consider not the wholesome words, even the words of our power, Mashiach Yahushua, who come in the volume of the book. He's in the Old Testament. He's in the Apocrypha. We just read about him. When you read about it, he's the word of the Most High. He didn't just become the word of the Most High when he came in the flesh. He was the word of the Most High before that. That's why I say in John 1:1, in the beginning was the word was with the Most High. The word was what the word was of Mashiach Yahushua, the same was in the beginning with the Most High. Come on. You've been the word of the Most High. If any man teach otherwise and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our power of Mashiach Yahushua, and to the doctrine which is according to righteousness. I ain't dealing with that word God, G-O-D, because that's a European invention that was invented by them. You know, they took dog and they spelled it backwards. You know, look it up. The dramatic word that they created. Europeans created that word. They took that word dog and they spelled it backwards, came up with God. So I say righteousness. Okay? It's not Hebrew. And to the doctrine which is according to righteousness. You hear that? If any man teach otherwise and consider not the wholesome words, even the words of our power, Mashiach Yahushua, that come in the volume of the book, and to the doctrine which is according to righteousness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words. That's what happened with us. We be out there, you know, dealing with the word of the Most High. Here come these ones that don't know what this Bible is talking about. If they study us enough, they will find out. I mean, come on, man. It's like, it's so much to learn. There's so much been given to learn, and it come with this one scripture. I got one scripture that's going to set you down forever. Just read that one scripture, man. Come on. Think about that. If any man teach otherwise and consider not the wholesome words, even the words of our power of Mashiach Yahushua, and to the doctrine, which is according to righteousness, are they dealing with righteousness? No, they say we ain't under the law. Are these crisp insanity people keeping the laws of the Most High? The commandments of the Most High? Are they saying you got to keep the commandments of the Most High? Which one doing that? They have to come and say, hey, we keep the moral law, civil law, dietary law, ceremonial law. They say they Mashiach. They say they're going to be like a Mashiach. He kept what we can right deal with now, Feast of Dedication. Come on. Are they keeping this? Let's make a comparison right quick. We come back here. Let's go to St. John 10, because we're going to go over this. We're going to have the Feast of Dedication tomorrow evening. Join me tomorrow evening. We'll be on around 7 Pacific time, 7 or 8 Pacific time, somewhere around there. We'll be back on again. Y'all join us. We're going to be doing a Feast of Dedication. This is what he honored. Are the people in the churches doing this? Talk to me. St. John 10:22. And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of the Dedication. And it was winter. See this? And Mashiach would say, walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. You see? He was involved in that. You know? We're going to go over this tomorrow. Are they doing that, or are they keeping Christmas? You ain't going to find Christmas nowhere but Jeremiah 10:1-5. You know, that Christmas tree, that's an idol. You bow down and put your presents under it, under that idol. You bow down and get your presents from under it. You bow down to it. That's what you're doing. You bowing down to that idol. You know, there's a place where they sell nothing but idols. Nothing but idols. You know, all kind of idols you can think of. They got all them different idols there, right? I rebuke it every time I go by it, right? And what you think is there now? In the place of those, not in the place of the idols, they still got the idol, but they got something in front of the idols. What do you think is there? All they sell is idols. What's there is Christmas trees. That's what's there. And they sell nothing but idols. They have nothing but Christmas trees there. Come on now. But our people go right up in there and get a Christmas tree. That's why we destroy for lack of knowledge, because we forgot about the law of the Most High. Nothing but Christmas trees in this idol place. Every year. That's all they sell. 1 Timothy 6:3. If any man teach otherwise and consider not to wholesome words, even the words of our power, Mashiach Yahushua, that come in the volume of the book, and to the doctrine which he is according to righteousness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words. That's what they do when they come out after us. Whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmisings, perverse disputing of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth. What's the truth? We got to sing it, class. Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. The Most High law is the truth. They destitute of the truth, man. They're not dealing with the laws of the Most High or answer my question. They always come up here talking all this stuff, coughing this, that, and the third. What religion? Which religion is keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? The moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. What religion is keeping the feast of dedication? Which one gonna keep Purim? Which one gonna keep Day of Nicanor? Which one gonna keep Day of Simon? What they know about that? They don't know nothing about that. Passover. They're gonna keep keeping Easter. We got Feast of Dedication. They're gonna be keeping Christmas. You got Passover. They're gonna keep Easter. Valentine's Day. Where that's at in the Bible? You know what I mean? Like, we have holy days. Every month we have a new moon feast for our first day of our month. It has nothing to do with Esau's month. It's the new moon. It's the new month. You understand? So we have a good time 12 times a year just on a new month. Every month. What y'all waiting on? Y'all got to wait right now. After y'all waiting on Christmas, then you're going to have Valentine's Day. Then you're going to have Easter. You know what I mean? Then you got to wait till 4th of July. Then you have Labor Day or one of them days like that. Then you got Halloween. Then you got Thanksgiving. We just went over Thanksgiving, thanks murdering, thanks stealing. Then you got what? Christmas. Every year, that's the same old, man. And we got all these days that we celebrate and have, that the Most High gave us holy convocations, and the days that we celebrate, like we're going to celebrate like a Mashiach Abishai just celebrated the Feast of Dedication. We got the temple back, y'all. Come on. I got to go through that because our temple was destroyed 3 times. They talking about building a temple. Ain't no third temple being built, man. You say if they say they're not dealing according to righteousness, he is proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy. All this comes from these people. Envy, strife, railings, arguing back and forth, evil surmisings, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds. Their minds corrupt. And you know how they corrupt? Because they're not dealing with this truth. Come on, man. You can't. How you deal with trying to bring somebody in that's not going to be in? Are any of these Gentile nations going into the gates of the kingdom? You got 12 gates. What Gentile nation is going into those gates? That's salvation in them gates, right? And each gate has the name of the 12 tribes of Israel on it. So what tribe of these other nations going into one of those gates? You got 3 on the north, 3 on the south, 3 on the east, and 3 on the west. So what nation is going into any of those gates? If thou might say. It says, perverse disputing, verse 5, perverse disputing of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, destitute of the laws and the commandments of the Most High, which they say we not under. They're just talking about you got to have faith in Jesus. It don't matter how he looked, they say. I mean, they say a lot of things about us before they come in front of us. We're a cult, this, that, and the third. We racist, this, that, and the third. They say a lot of things about us. Supposing that gain is righteousness. From such withdraw thyself. Hear that? You got a right to withdraw yourself from certain people. But righteousness with contentment is great gain, y'all. You got to know this, man. Righteousness, because all gain is not righteousness. You understand? That's why he said in Joshua 1:8, we came out of the wilderness. That's what the Most High told us in Joshua 1:8. this book of the law, you hear that, preachers? This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein, meditate on the law day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Everything that's written in the law, doing the law. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. You see that? But if you're not doing the laws, I mean, that's why I say it's not a righteous gain. Most High reign on the just and the unjust, but they got to pay. Look, Ecclesiasticus 43 and verse 26. It says, by him, the end of them have prosperous success, and by his word all things consist, you see? So the Most High brings forth a prosperous success if you doing what he said, meditating day and night on his commandments and doing what he say do, so that you can be part of the kingdom that's prepared for us already. It's already ready. Look what he said, Joshua 1:18. He said, whosoever, it don't matter who you are, he be that does rebel against thy commandment and will not hearken unto thy words in all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Whosoever he be that does rebel against thy commandment and will not hearken, listen, unto thy words in all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of a good courage. Make it mean something different, if thou can. First Kings, first chapter. So you don't follow Most High's commandments, you're going to be put to death. First Kings. That's why I probably don't want to read the Old Testament, right? First Kings, the first chapter. That's why they don't know Mashiach Yahushua. Look at this. You talking about exaltation? Look at this. First Kings 1 and 5. King David just about ready to perish, and said, then Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, see, saying, I will be king. Since King David's, is about to die. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. But King Solomon was set up next. And his father had not displeased him at any time in saying, why hast thou done so? And he also was a very goodly man. And his mother bare him after Absalom. So with us, we always had a problem with wanting to be somebody. Mashiach didn't make himself of no reputation. And he did more miracles than can be put. All the books in the world could not contain them. Did he do that? No, he didn't do that. This is the mindset he had. Go to Philippians, the second chapter. It says, Philippians 2 and 5. He said, let this mind be in you, which was also in a Mashiach Yahushua, who being in the form of the Most High, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, meaning he was the son of the Most High. And we said in St. John 10 and 30, I and my Father are one. I mean, they agree. They're not the same. Don't get it twisted. They're not the same. That's why I say, I don't want to go through that, but I mean, been through it so many times, man. He prayed to himself when he was on the earth. A part of him was in the heavens, and here he is, part of him was on the earth. No, man. It means that he was a son of the Most High. That's what it's talking about, y'all. But made himself of no reputation, verse 7, but made himself of no reputation. You want to be like him? He said he make himself no reputation. He took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. Wherefore, you want to be like Mashiach Yahushua, the Most High also has highly exalted him for being what? Humble and not making himself of no reputation. Could kill less, man. How you want to be somebody in this dang on damnation that we in right now, man? And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. That's a affliction that he went through. Wherefore the Most High has highly exalted him for being that way and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name of Mashiach Yahushua, every knee should bow, and think of things in heaven and things in the earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that a Mashiach Yahushua is the power to the glory of the Most High, the Father. Wherefore, my beloved, who's he talking to? He said, wherefore, my beloved, who to be loved, y'all? Who is to be loved? If I might ask, according to the scriptures. Wherefore, my beloved, because they'll say, hey, that's anybody that call on the name of Jesus, right? No. It's clearly defined in Baruch, the 3rd chapter, and the 36th verse. Baruch, the 3rd chapter, and the 36th verse. When you see beloved, we go into the Old Testament to get the understanding of the definition of who is to be loved. Here it is. Baruch 3:36. He have found out all the way of knowledge and have given it unto Jacob, his servant. To Jacob are the servants, we the servants, and to Israel, his beloved. You hear that? To Israel, his beloved. So we as the Israelites are the beloved of the Most High. So that's who he's talking to, without a shadow of a doubt. Wouldn't you say? Or can you show me somewhere where it says beloved of any other nation? You're not going to find it in the Bible. You say you're in New York, can't find a place to learn all this. I don't know, it's some about it's a dollar sign that keep coming in the way of things that's being said in my text. I think that's what you're saying. If you text me or call me, my number is I don't have it on the let me get to balance. My number's on the marquee right now. If you want to call me, I can show you or tell you someplace you can go, man, in New York. Quite sure. It's a lot of places, man. So you see, the beloved are the Israelites, okay? To Water for asking us, I'm about to finish. I have my banner up. Hopefully, it'll be cool. Philippians 2:12. It says, wherefore, my beloved, who are the Israelites, Israel, my beloved, right? And Baruch 3:36 in the Old Testament proved it, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, not when the book is open, right? But now much more in my absence when the book is closed, right? Work out your own salvation, been redeemed from this place that we in and scattered among all these nations to receive the power, wisdom, and authority that we're going to receive in the kingdom with fear and trembling. So what does trembling mean? Huh? The tremble, what that mean? Hmm? It said with fear and trembling. What do fear, what does trembling mean? If you trembling, wouldn't you be scared? Wouldn't you be afraid? That's why I say fear. I don't understand. Y'all open up the Bible and these words don't mean what it means anymore. I mean, y'all going by whatever somebody done told. They don't like. Look, let me show you something. So you understand. Because a lot of y'all go right into these people that don't know. Look what it says here. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7. We went from 1 and 2, showing you, they're gonna be amazed as strangers are salvation, so far beyond all they look for. Then what they're gonna say. Now you make it mean something different. Salvation is coming to the children of Israel, right? Then what they're gonna say in verse 7. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. And Mashiach would say, I'm the way. But as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushai, what they say? We have not known it. That's when salvation comes on this earth. That's what they're going to say. So you're going to follow somebody that say, we don't know the way of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushai. So now they have the way to the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushai. Whatever they say, that's what you're going to follow. Think about that, man. But a lot of y'all Edomanize, man. That's what I'm gonna put it just like it is. I did a lesson on that. Y'all need to look at that. Edomanize, Edomization, Edomism, all of that. I did all of that. Y'all need to look at that. Because a lot of y'all believe whatever they say. Last I read, and y'all know the scriptures, it's sad because it's like, do y'all really hear what it's saying? Ecclesiastes 12 and 10, I can go on and say, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10 says, never trust thine enemy. They just said that's for the way of the Most High and the Mashiach, we have not known it. That's from the time we live in now to the time that salvation is coming on this earth. They said, we have not known the way of the Most High and the Mashiach. Scripture says, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy. But like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, see right through, and thou shalt know that his rust, his wickedness, has not been altogether wiped away. Point blank. So you hear what the scripture says in the future, what they're going to say. And y'all trusting in them. You better trust in this right here, in this Bible. Oh, you better trust in the Most High, first and foremost. While Mashiach Yahushai, Bashal Mashiach Yahushai, I would you be trusting him. A lot of y'all trust in, man, y'all trust in whatever they say, man. Look, I want you to look at Mark 16 and 17. It says, and these signs shall follow them that believe. Bashama Mashiach Yahushai, in the name of the known Savior. They shall cast out devils. And a lot of y'all, you might not understand how we are casting out devils, man. They shall speak with new tongues. We're speaking with new tongues, different languages. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. Hear that? And we drinking deadly things right now, man, especially here in America, man. We don't know. We he said we drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. We drinking poison. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. You believe this? It's real. When you really believe and you really exalt the Most High, you do what He say do. Repenting and actually following His commandments and having faith in the Mashiach Yahweh through the glory of the Most High, man. These things works. It's gonna work, man. But you gotta humble yourself. You gotta humble yourself. Second Timothy 2:14. Of these things, put them in remembrance. Think about this. Charging them before the Most High, while you're going to the throne of the Most High, about Shalom Mashiach Yahweh, that they strive not about words to no profit. See, a lot of words are to no profit. And men are gaining, a lot with words that are of no profit, because in the end, something simple as BAAL, AMEN. Those are words of no profit. That the enemy that you trust, that published the Bible, that put their God in here, they know you're going to call on BAAL, but you're going to call on LORD. And you're going to find a way to justify your enemy in doing it. That's what you're doing. You're trusting your enemy. What King James 611 Bible do we publish? Who making the money off the King James 611 Bible? Or these Bibles, period. I got many Bibles. I did lessons on Bibles to show you how they took scriptures out. It's not even there. Boom. What Bible is that? Okay, go to the scripture. And they go to the scripture, they be blown away. It ain't there. It's not there. It's a line going through it. I've shown this over and over again. See, y'all got TV shows doing it. Come on, man. It's real. That they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers, subvert them back to the Most High. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You hear that? Rightly dividing the word of truth. Say, but son, don't even think about profane, unholy, and vain babblings, man. But they will increase unto more unrighteousness. That's all it does, man. You say, and their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, concerning the laws and the commandments of the Most High, like a lot of you have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure, having this seal. The Most High knoweth them that are His. You better believe that. He know them that are His. And those that are His going to praise the Most High. All praise to the Most High. He knoweth them that are His. And let everyone that nameth the name of a Mashiach Yahushai, or Bashama Mashiach Yahushai, say in the name of the anointed Savior, depart from iniquity, depart from sinning. That's very important, because that's how we reach the Most High, in the name of the anointed Savior. No man comes to the Father but by the Mashiach Yahushai, when there is no New Testament. That's what people got to, y'all get this New Testament out of your mind, man. There's only the law and the prophets for anybody that walked the earth. Understand this. It's very important that you see this. Without that, you're going to be walking in darkness, man, ignorance. Because when Paul was on the earth, I mean, what did he go by? What did he learn? He learned the Old Testament. Preachers are not going into the Old Testament. You know, they don't know it. But you got to look at, you got to go back and forth. It's very important that we see this, because without it, how you gonna really bring forth, what's needed? Let me show you something, okay? Because I mentioned it earlier. Go to Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, 10 and 7. Let me show you something. Hebrews 10 and 7, just for what I'm saying. As far as you have to know the Old Testament, understand what they had to go by when you read the New Testament. Hebrews 10 and 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. This is Mashiach Yahushua. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High, above when he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings and offerings for sin, thou wouldest not, neither has pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. That's the law of sacrifice. Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O Most High. He taketh away the first that he may establish the second, right? So now let's go to Psalms 40 and 7. Just to give you an example, how you got to know the Old and the New Testament. Let's see what it says in Psalms 40 and 7. Then said I, lo, sound familiar? I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my power, Most High. Yeah, thy law is within my heart. You see, that's where it's coming from the Old Testament. That's why it's so important that you see this, because if not, then, you know, what you gonna do when you say, hey, you were told, you didn't care, you didn't want to know. Let me deal with this. I'm gonna deal with something that I was brought to. I didn't really have uh my scriptures open to be able to deal with, only way when Elijah came out there dealing with me. I want to deal with this. He went to Deuteronomy 29 and 9. Um, and it says, hold on. About to lose power here. Okay, we all right now. Okay, Deuteronomy 29 and 9. It says, I'm gonna just show you how, because you keep showing when he came out there dealing with me, and I told him there are two types of strangers. Okay, it says, keep therefore the words of this covenant. And that's what the main thing he was talking about. The strangers gonna be a part of the covenant. Keep that in mind. Keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them, right? That's the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, that ye may prosper in all that ye do, right? Well, let's read verse 1. So these are the words of the covenant which the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, commanded Moses to make with who? The children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. I'm going to read it again. These are the words, and this is how simple this is to deal with as far as dealing with who is talking to and who is talking about. Avery is what he said. But listen who he's talking to. These are the words of the covenant. That's a contract agreement. The law, statutes, commandments, which the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. That's not going to change. In the land of Moab, beside the covenant, the contract agreement, which he made with them in Horeb, right? So now he went to verse 9 and says, keep therefore the words of this covenant, this contract, this agreement that he made with Israel, keep that in mind, to do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do, right? Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Most High, your power. Who the Most High the power of? Let's find out. So we talking to? Exodus 3:15. That's what he said. Who he the power of? See, if these Christian sanity people would allow you to precept, give the understanding without just saying, what this mean, what this mean? We tell them what it means. I can talk it. Exodus 3:15. And the Most High said, moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, the Most High power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations, right? So he the power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, right? And Jacob became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what the Most High say he is. We just read over and over again in this lesson, the power of Israel, the Most High power of Israel, right? What did he tell them? Go and gather the elders of Israel. Each tribe had elders over the tribes of Israel together, and say unto them, the Most High power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. Now, Abraham had who? Ishmael. Before he had Isaac, didn't he? Most High didn't choose Ishmael. He chose Isaac. This is his name forever. Abraham, the Isaac, and Isaac had Esau and Jacob. Most High didn't choose Esau. He chose Jacob. This is his name forever. Did he say, go tell the elders the power of Abraham, Ishmael, or the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau? No. His name is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's why he said, go and gather the elders of Israel together and say unto them, the Most High power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen that which is done to you in Egypt, after we cried to the Most High. How long did the affliction of the Egyptians did he see us crying to him before he allowed us to be released from captivity? That's what we're dealing with right now, y'all. But the Most High is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Going back here to Deuteronomy 29. You can understand through the precepts, not through just reading one scripture and I got you now. Look, keep therefore, verse 9, keep therefore the words of this covenant, right? Who's the covenant with? Verse 1, these are the words of the covenant which the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. Come on. You're talking about everybody? No. Because he was saying that the covenants with the strangers. That's the topic, what he was dealing with. Keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do. Remember the Most High told us in Joshua 1 and 8? We read that earlier, right? It says, ye stand this day, all of you, before the Most High, your power, your captains of your tribes, right? Your elders and your officers with all the men of Israel. So, y'all, that's all Israelites, right? Then it says, your little ones, your little children, your wives, and thy stranger, your stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, right? So now it says that thou shouldst enter into covenant with the Most High, thy power, and into his oath. Who's it talking to? I mean, that's why I say you don't understand the Bible. Who's it covenant with? Let's find out. Verse 1, these are the words of the covenant which the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. Okay? So now, because the Most High could be speaking, and he could be speaking all of a sudden the Bible to go to the future. And go back to the past, from the past, it ain't going to the present, go way from the past to the future. Prophecy. That's how it's written. That's what it's saying. That thou should have entered into a covenant with the Most High, thy power. Come on. The Most High, he the power of Gentiles. Who the Most High just said, when he said your power, who's the power of? All day long, you done heard it. The power of Israel. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Show me where the Most High say the power of anybody else. The power of Israel. That's why I say your power. In verse 12, that thou should have entered into covenant with the Most High, a contract agreement, the law, statutes, commandments with the Most High, thy power, your power, and into his oath, which the Most High, your power, yours a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, make it with thee this day. That thee is you this day. That he may establish thee listen, that he may establish you today for a people unto himself. This ain't for no Gentiles. And that he may be unto thee a power. That thee, that you is the Israelites. Who is he talking to? First, a lot of times, most I speak once, say twice, man, don't see it at all. Deuteronomy 29:1, these are the words of the covenant which the Most High commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel. Not no Gentile nations. Come on. Don't matter if they're around us or not. This covenant is still with the Israelites, point blank. You heard it. I done read it a few times here. We're going to go somewhere else to prove it too. That's what I say. If this gospel is lost, it's lost to them that are lost. Listen. Verse 13, that he may establish thee, that's you, today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee, you, a power, as he have said unto thee, and as he has sworn unto thy fathers. To who? To Abraham, to Ishmael, to Esau, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Come on. That's who you say the power of. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said, Jeremiah 31:31. Well, see, everybody wasn't, look, and also you gotta look at it. If put it like this, man, this is real easy. Let's do some common sense here. If the Most High say we're free right now, we're free right now. We getting ready to leave out of captivity, and he going to take us to the promised land. You gonna tell me that everybody that's gonna be right there? You don't even know. I don't even know the people in my neighborhood. I remember when they had the Rodney King riots, man. I looked out my window and I seen people coming out of houses, and I mean, I couldn't even see the street or the sidewalks. It was so many people. I don't know them people, but if we free, you gonna tell me you know everybody. Nobody gonna be no stranger. We in captivity. You work at everybody. You know everybody. You don't know everybody, man. Come on, think about it. Some of you strangers, I don't know you. You know of me. You might know of me, but I don't know you. I don't even know who's in the room. I don't see no names. I don't see nothing. All I see is a number. If that, I'm a stranger to you. You're a stranger to me. We don't really know each other. We know of each other, maybe. Some of you might be the first time you ever, came into this class. But the covenant is with the children of Israel. Let's prove that. Jeremiah 31:31. Come on. Get some other nation strangers out of this. Behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will make a new covenant, new contract, new agreement with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Now, he said with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So how are you going to get anybody else in that? Talk to me. How you get anybody else in that? He said with the house of Israel, that's the northern tribes, and the southern tribes, the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant, the contract, the agreement, the law, statutes, commandments that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which we just read in Deuteronomy. which my covenant they break. We broke the laws of the Most High. Although I was an husband unto them, said the Most High, but this shall be the covenant, the contract, the agreement, the laws, such commandments that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, said the Most High, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. Who? He said, the house of Israel, the family of the northern tribes, and the house of Judah, the family of the southern tribes. Verse 33, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Most High. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, in our minds. And will be their power. There is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership. And they shall be my people. Come on. Ain't no other nation gonna be the Most High's people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. That's when the Mashiach was shy, then taught those that are worthy, those of us that are worthy to learn for this 1,000 years. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, because you're being taught right now. Something you're gonna learn if you stay in my class, I know. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Most High. Listen, saying, know the Most High, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Most High. That's why I'm trying to get you to know the Most High now, so you can have an opportunity to know him. Come on, y'all can't even say praise the Most High. He would say, you think it important? He gonna be all in all, not us. He say, everybody gonna know him. We're gonna teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Most High, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Now let's look at, like I told you got to know the Old Testament to know the New Testament. You got to know the New Testament from the Old Testament. Hebrews 8 and 8. Hebrews 8 and 8. For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Most High, when I will make a new covenant, a new contract, a new agreement with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Sound familiar? I'm showing you that there was only the law and the prophets when you read the New Testament. That's all they had to go by, y'all. Look, let me show you. Go to Acts. After Mashiach sent it to the right-hand side of the Messiah, show you what they read in the temples, in the synagogues, and so forth. Acts 13 and 15. Acts the 13th chapter, the 15th verse. And after the reading of the law and the prophets, are these so-called pastors or ministers doing this? After the reading of the law and the prophets, the rulers of the synagogue sent unto them, saying, ye men and brethren, if you have any word of exhortation for the people, say on. Then Paul stood up. So he was there when there was reading of the law and the prophets. So there go your Paul right there. So y'all like to run to Paul instead of dealing with the Most High and a Mashiach Yahushua. Look what it says here. Hebrews 8 and 8. Talking about the covenant. That was the argument we was having, that the other nations, these strangers, are going to be part of the covenant. No. You got to get that. You got to find that, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So here you go here in Hebrews 8 and 8. For finding fault with them, who did them? The children of Israel. That's why I read the first verse over and over and over again to you. Covenant to Israel. It said, for finding fault with them, the Israelites, we the 12 tribes of Israel, he said, behold, the days come, said the Most High, when I will make a new covenant, a new contract, a new agreement with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Just what we just read in Jeremiah 31 down. Not according to the covenant, contract, or agreement that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Most High, by giving us into the hands of our enemies in captivity, slavery, and bondage. As we went to it was Judges 10 and 10 down. We read about how he gave us all these different captivities. I've done a lesson on all the captivities of we the Israelites. But this is the covenant, the contract, the agreement that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Most High. I will put my laws in their mind. You see, he said inward parts, in our mind, and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, that them is the Israelites. And they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor. Sound familiar? I just broke this down. And every man his brother, saying, know the Most High. For all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. That's why I'm trying to give you a head start. So you better start praising the Most High. He said, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquity will I remember no more. Talking about the Israelites, because he only gave the law, statutes, commandments to the Israelites. In that he said, a new covenant, he have made the first old, now that which decayeth and what is old is ready to vanish away. Okay? Now, let's go to Psalms 105, 8 to 10. We just talked, that's what we're arguing about, going back and forth with each other about these Gentiles being a part of the covenant. No. Psalms 105. I'm giving you 4 different places where it's telling the covenants to Israel. You need more, we can get more, but get 4 to say the covenants to the Gentiles, to these other nations. Then I'll get 5. And I'll get 6. You get 5 or 6. You got to do that. Psalm 105 and 8. We talking about the covenant going to the Gentiles. That was the argument that we had. They spliced it up however they want to splice it up. That was the argument that was having, that these strangers was part of the covenant. No, he had remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, that's the 12 tribes of Israel, for an everlasting covenant. Now, you get the other nations out of that. Because Abraham had Ishmael, and Isaac had Esau, but the Most High didn't choose Ishmael. He blessed him with 12 sons and, to be rich and all of that, man. And he blessed Esau with the fatness of the land and to live by the sword, as he's doing. I mean, come on. Everybody have a certain dispensation time to rule, and we have our dispensation time to rule. Oh, it's going to be forever. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, let me get out of here. I know it's that late. Schlock him. And our time to rule is going to be like this. Daniel's 7:18. So yeah, that's what the argument was about. The stranger's going to be part of the covenant. No. You got to show me where it tell you that Esau, Ishmael, Ham, Elam, Ammon, Moab, Elam, all these going to be part of the covenant. That the Most High said, I'll make my covenant with you in the kingdom that's to come. It's not going to be there. You're not going to find it. I know this. Daniel's 7:18. But the saints of the Most High, who are the children of Israel, Psalms 148:14. Let me prove it, because some of you might be new. And you say, I'm jumping around, I'm hopscotching, proving what these words mean. Saints. Who are the saints? He said, for the saints of the Most High, right? Who the saints of the Most High? Let's prove it. Psalms 148:14. He also exalted the horns, the power of his people, the praise of all his saints. You go to the definition of the saints, even of the children of Israel. Who are we? A people near to the Most High. Before we get out of here, we got to say, praise ye the Most High. Is that what it said? Praise ye the Most High. Yeah. So now, knowing that the children of Israel are the saints, going back to Daniel 7:18, but the saints of the Most High, who are the children of Israel, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom. How long? Forever, even forever and ever. You hear that? Our kingdom gonna last forever and ever and ever. That's why it's worthy. It's worth it to praise the Most High, man. Can't praise him enough. Look, Daniel 2:44. And in the days of these kings, shall the Most High power of heaven set up a kingdom. You hear that? The days of these kings is ruling the world, shall the Most High power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. You hear that? You all hear that? The kingdom not going to be left to other people. Because remember, we just read the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom. How long? Forever, even forever and ever. But he said, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. That's what the Most High look. Don't get me started, boy. Let's go to Jeremiah. It say gonna break in pieces all these kingdoms, right? Go to Jeremiah. Let's see something about that. Jeremiah 51:20. Real quick. I'm almost out of here. It says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. Talking to we children of Israel. Don't think it's verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them. See? Talking about us. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. But with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. And with thee will I also break in pieces man and woman. And with thee will I break in pieces old and young. And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Come on, going down and breaking a piece of everybody. That's why I say, hey, Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom. How long? Forever, even forever and ever. Verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. We just defined in Psalms 148:14. A people near to the Most High, the children of Israel. Praise ye the Most High. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. If you don't want to serve and obey him, Isaiah 60:12. You don't want to obey and serve him? What is that? Isaiah 60:12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So it takes heed for all you nations, you Gentile nations that are hearing this, or hearing we as the leaders, the true leaders of the Israelites, pay attention to Jeremiah 12:16. If you don't want to serve us, you're going to perish. This is what it says. And this shall come to pass. It's the future prophecy that we're in right now for this present time. If they will diligently learn the ways of my people, we the Israelites, you other nations, to swear by my name. We just read in Most High's name in Exodus 3:15, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his name forever. He said, memorial to all generations. And Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why you see the power of Israel all throughout the Bible. And it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people to swear by my name, the Most High liveth, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, which is Lord, which is also Master. They put it in the Bible, and we calling on it until this day. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. Then they're going to be a part of the kingdom in their position that they can be put in the kingdom. But there's a condition. If that's another condition, they will not obey. Obey what? Diligently learning the ways of my people, what we're teaching, what this Bible really talking about. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. Who said it? Said the Most High. That's Jeremiah 12, 16, and 17. You better hear what he's saying. And with that, Daniel 7:28. Hitherto is the end of the matter. That's all I got to say. All praise to the Most High. All glory and honor to his holy name. And y'all join me tomorrow. We at Shield of Wisdom at about between 7 and 8 o'clock Pacific time. Most High Thaahwam, Most High will. And we're going to be going over and going and celebrating the Feast of Dedication, or what they call Hanukkah. And with that, I say, Kwam Most High, and Thaahwam for joining me. Kwam Most High, Kwam Mashiach Yahushai, and Kwam Yasharallah. And I'm out. Shalom.